Question is if a polygraph operator asks in order to interpret properly the readout of a polygraph, whether or not the person is on medication, the nature of that medication, that's information that may in fact reveal an underlying disability. That would normally be a prohibited question at the pre-offer stage. Whether or not that's a violation at the pre-offer stage of the ADA, I can't tell you, but I can tell you that it smells like one. But I don't know whether or not under the law there might be some exception for the polygraph or limitations for that sole purpose. I don't know, because it's not my expertise.
I'm just not clear, but the poly is done pre-offer.
Poly can be done pre, post, or both.
Okay, it is, in my area, pre-offer. And the polygrapher always says, have you taken any medications in the last 24 or 48 hours? So if I answer truthfully to the polygrapher and I say I've taken antidepressants, then he has asked that question pre-offer.
Yes, exactly, that question pre-offer.
And you're saying that's not legitimate?
No, I'm not. I'm saying I'm not going to tell you that it's not legitimate because I don't have any expertise in the administration of polygraph. So I don't know the case law around polygraphs. I don't know how the courts have interpreted polygraphs in particular. So I'm not going to answer questions about polygraph because I don't know.
It sounds just like Lionel versus American Airlines.
Yeah, like I mean, I can tell you that it smells, but I can't give you an opinion about it.
Well, in Victoria's instance, you can't lie to a question that wasn't supposed to be asked.
You can't lie to a question that wasn't supposed to be asked. I
But
understand.
all the polygraphers ask that.
Yeah. Okay, but we're going to leave polygraph alone because we have. Let's leave polygraphs alone because we don't have any polygraph operators in the room that I know of, do we? And none of us do polygraphs. Yes.
I made notes, and I have a couple of polygraphers I will contact.
Terrific. Great. Dorothy, you have a question?
How did, at least in Canada, I assume it's the same in the States, one of the very first steps of the process is the fitness test. I mean, you don't even get to the interview in our neck of the woods. But surely a fitness test would clearly reveal the strong possibility of a medical illness, like you're missing your legs or something. What rationale is used to say that it's okay to do the fitness part and that that's not medical somehow when a psychological assessment is somehow medical?
Because it's a functional assessment. The question is, how come the physical fitness test can be done in advance, but the others can't? Because it's functional. There's a linkage between the physical. In order for it to be a valid assessment, there has to be some linkage between the physical functions you're having them perform and the job.
It's an essential job function.
It's an essential job function. So if they can't run quickly enough, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a result of a disability. Now, obviously, if they're without legs, then you're either going to determine that they're an unqualified person with a disability, or you're going to provide them with a reasonable accommodation. Under the ADA, you would be obligated to do that. But it has been carved out as not medical in nature, the physical agility test. Okay. Mike?
Well, I know you want to leave the polygraph, but just a statement.
Yeah.
after I make the statement.
And what part of no don't you get?
Well,
all right, go ahead.
Let me say that polygraphs are always done historically what amounts to classic post-offer. And it was only in the mid-90s when they switched to do bifurcated and make it pre-offer. And frankly, it's clearly a marketing decision because on the bifurcated, well, once the ADA went into effect, they saw that they were at the end of the stream, like we psychologists are on the medical side of things, if they were going to ask all those questions. And so what they did was creatively respond and say, we'll do pre-offer and have all these non-medical things, and we'll have a lot more of these polygraphs to do. And so by doing that, they make a lot more money. The downside is if you do have agencies that use them only pre-offer and they don't follow it up with a post-offer polygraph, they never get the chance to verify the most important things we need to know, which is things like whether or not they've ever been had contact with a mental health provider, whether they've used illegal drugs a certain number of times in their life, whether they have used or abused alcohol, because you can't ask that stuff pre-offer. So they're missing out right now, the agencies are. They're assuming we did a polygraph, we did a background. And that's just pure BS. They are not doing a complete one if they don't do a post-offer background and polygraph.